For 250 years, the United States Marine Corps has embodied honor, courage, and commitment. Born November 10, 1775, in Philadelphia's Tun Tavern, Marines have fought with distinction in every clime and place, a vital thread in our Corps' storied history. From the Continental Marines' green coats to the scarlet trimmed blues worn by our Marines today, these uniforms stand as a symbol that honor not only the fabric, but the Marines who wore them. The birth of the Marine Corps came during the American Revolution. The first Continental Marines wore green coats with white facings, a practical choice given the available cloth in Philadelphia. They carried muskets and bayonets, serving as sharpshooters in naval battles and amphibious raids. The most famous of these early actions was the raid on the South Bahamas in 1776. In New Orleans, the city under Spanish rule was a critical port for both trade and smuggling, linking the American Revolution to international allies. This uniform represents the spark that lit the fire of Marine tradition. By the War of 1812, Marines had traded green for dark blue coats with red trim, signifying closer ties to the Navy. The Marines at Marine Barracks 8th and 9 defended Washington, D.C., while others fought in ship-to-ship battles. At the Battle of New Orleans in 1815, Marines stood alongside Andrew Jackson's mixed forces of soldiers, sailors, and locals, delivering a decisive victory that ensured U.S. sovereignty along the Gulf. The moment forever tied New Orleans to the Marine Corps legacy and the blue and red uniform echoing spirit of that triumph. Marines in the three Seminole Wars of Florida wore adapted field uniforms suited for swamp and jungle fighting. Light cotton trousers, simple frock coats, and wide-brimmed headgear. They learned to fight a mobile, elusive enemy in unforgiving terrain. This period foreshadowed counterinsurgency operations Marines would conduct for centuries. Uniforms often became ragged, replaced with whatever material could withstand the humidity and the mud. The Seminole campaigns forced Marine adaptability and endurance. The Mexican-American war uniform featured sky blue frock coats and trousers, often topped with M1842 forage caps. Marines achieved immortal fame in the Battle of Chapultepec in 1847, where they stormed the castle fortress overlooking Mexico City. It was here, at the halls of Montezuma, Marines forever commemorated our hymn. The blood stripe later added to the Marine trousers is said to honor non-commissioned and commissioned officers who fell in Mexico. This uniform embodies bravery in scaling walls against impossible odds. During the Civil War, the Marines' uniform featured dark blue coats with brass buttons and capes, a close cousin to Army attire. Marines manned naval guns and fought in amphibious assaults, including operations along the Mississippi River near New Orleans. which was reclaimed by the Union in 1862. These Marines stood as the backbone of shipboard order during America's deadliest conflict. With war in Cuba and the Philippines, Marines adopted khaki cotton field uniforms, lighter and better for tropical heat. Wide-brim campaign covers protected Marines from intense sun. They stormed Guantanamo Bay in 1898, establishing a foothold in Cuba after days of arduous fighting. This was the birth of the modern expeditionary Marine. Light, fast, and forward deployed. Marines in the Great War donned the M1917 field uniform. Characterized by wool tunics, breeches, puttees, and a distinctive doughboy helmet. They fought ferociously across the Western Front, earning the nickname Devil Dogs from the Germans at the Battle of Bellewood. In New Orleans, wartime industry swelled, supporting the war effort with shipbuilding and supplies for our troops overseas. The World War I uniform symbolizes the moment Marines stepped into the global stage as shock troops of America. From Owen May Johnson in 1918, women who first served as Marines wore tailored forest green uniforms with long skirts, belted tunics, and service hats. These trailblazers freed male Marines for combat by serving in clerical and support roles. This service began a legacy of women in the Corps that continues to this day. Caribbean and Central America wore khaki shirts and trousers with campaign hats, similar to the Spanish-American war field dress, but hardened by experience. They fought guerrillas in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Nicaragua, honing small war tactics that would later form the Marine Corps' counterinsurgency doctrine. These Marines became experts in jungle warfare, patrolling mountains and plantations under a blazing sun. The World War II field uniform was a sage green cotton utility, coupled with the iconic M1 steel helmet. Marines stormed the beaches of Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa, raising the flag at Mount Suribachi. World War II Marines rode New Orleans-built landing craft into battle. More than 20,000 Higgins boats, designed by Andrew Higgins and built in the Crescent City, became essential to victory. The Navy Corpsman represents one of the most beloved figures in Marine history. Wearing Marine combat gear marked with a red cross. Though sailors by service, corpsmen lived and died with Marines, treating wounds under fire and earning countless medals of honor. Marines to this day call them Doc with reverence. Korean War Marines wore olive drab utilities, cold weather parkas, and the M1 helmet. At the chosen reservoir, Marines fought in sub-zero conditions, breaking through encirclement and bringing out their wounded and dead. The Korean War uniform represents Marines' unrelenting toughness in the face of frozen hell. Marines serving in Vietnam wore jungle utilities, flak jackets, and the iconic M1 helmet with camouflage covers. They fought in rice paddies, jungles, and cities. From Quad City to Khe Sanh, their uniforms were adapted with lightweight boots, gear, and weapons suited for guerrilla war. Vietnam proved the endurance of Marines in a divided era. Marines in the 1980s wore woodland camouflage battle dress uniforms. In 1983, 241 Marines were killed in a Beirut barracks bombing. That same year, Marines stormed the beaches of Grenada, rescuing American citizens and toppling a hostile regime. Their uniforms reflect a new era of Cold War crisis and rapid response missions. The Marines in Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm wore the chocolate chip desert camouflage uniform. They liberated Kuwait in a lightning-fast campaign, proving America's ability to project power in the Middle East. Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm also marked the first time in large numbers where female Marines were deployed in combat zones. Following the September 11, 2001 terror attacks on the United States, Marines had a central role in combat operations in Afghanistan and Iraq to dismantle the terrorist networks like Al-Qaeda and to overthrow the Saddam Hussein regime. Subsequently, they focused on counterinsurgency, training partner forces, and combating ISIS in Iraq and Syria. During this time, Marines wore Marine pattern desert utility uniforms. Hurricane Katrina made landfall on August 29, 2005. With subsequent storm surge overwhelming the southeast Louisiana, here Marines will play a large role during the relief efforts, conducting recovery, rebuilding, and humanitarian operations, reinforcing their commitment to the New Orleans community. Finally, we arrive at the present. The Marine Corps dress blues, the most recognizable uniform in the United States military. With its dark blue coat, red trim, white cover, and sky blue trousers, it reflects centuries of heritage. The red blood stripe honors all those who fell in Chapultepec. The eagle, globe, and anchor mark Marines as belonging to the sea, land, and sky. In New Orleans, home to Marine Forces Reserve and Marine Forces South, Marines in the dress blues stand as a living connection between history and the present, honoring all who came before while inspiring all who will follow. As we celebrate our birthday, we honor every Marine, past, present, and future. Happy 250th birthday, Marines.